Greetings, grasshoppers. Welcome to the Bot Signal. My name is RJ Redden, and today we're going to talk about your messaging on any platform, how you can maximize the engagement. I talk about bots a lot, and I love the bots. You know that I do. But how do you get people to look at those bots? How do you get people to go and start interacting and engaging with one? That's the topic today. And before all that, there is this. Oh, there's me dropping my little headphones. Anyway, my name is RJ Redden, and entrepreneurs hire me to skyrocket their marketing message because most feel like they're shouting into a black hole online, or they're a carbon copy of everybody else, and they can't get traction online to save their lives. So I create epic engagement experiences that get people to click that button, connect with you, and convert like crazy. So today we're going to talk about maximizing your message on every platform, because we can write bots now on just about anything. We can write bots on Skype. We can write bots on WhatsApp. Of course, there's always been Messenger, and lots of people just prefer us to write bots on their own websites. But we can write a bot just about anywhere. We've come to a point in the bot existence where it's no longer, for most people, it's no longer a novelty. It's no longer something's talking to me. Most people have seen a bot by now. So how do we, now that the novelty is worn off, less people will click through. Less people will, start engaging. Now, if people need something, they're going to engage. But we want to attract as many people as we can to these beautiful, fabulous, wonderful bots that we've written. So how do you do that? How do you get people in? How do you drive them in? So here's the deal. When we're learning about engagement marketing, when we're doing all of the things, because it's not just about how many people got in, how many people were excited to press that button? How many people were curious? How many people started to think, hey, I might want to develop a relationship with this person? That's what we're really going for. The numbers lie. The numbers will lie to you. It provides a good guideline. It provides a good basis to work from. Don't do without the numbers, but don't count on them telling you the absolute end all and be all about your clients and your pre-clients. For me, that all happens in the bot. I know how interested you are. I know what you value. By the time you get through with that little bot run, you're leaving feeling entertained and happy and looking forward to the next conversation. I leave with valuable information about who you are, what you value, what you came here for. And I have an idea already about how, can I provide that thing that they're looking for? Or do I have a friend who might be able to provide it a little bit better? So, but again, how do you get there? How do you get people to click through? And this is what I talk about in the basics of engagement marketing. If you haven't yet, I do have a free course out there. It's the Unleash Your Engagement course. And it's just a little mini course on a bot. It's free. You can take it real quick. It is meant to be done in under an hour. And it teaches you the real basics of engagement. But for now, I'll cover that at a real high level right now. But if you're interested, you can always go to that class. So on every platform, what does that mean? It means that you need to maximize your engagement in your, I'll say the E word, emails. Maximize your engagement in your social media posts. Maximize engagement on your podcasts. Maximize engagement everywhere. Everywhere. Start the party where you are. Start the party. Start having a real good time. Start interesting people in what you have, not with the, entering a crowded marketplace. Okay, so one time, RJ's story time, everybody. One time I went down to Mexico with a friend of mine. She lived in Tucson, and she's she picked me up from the airport, and she was like, "Want to go to Mexico today?" And I was like, "Sure." So we went down to Mexico that day, and it was incredible to me. I was kind of young at the time, and it was pretty eye opening. We went to a crowded marketplace, and for some reason, people thought that I was interested in pharmaceuticals. I was not, spoiler alert. But people, you go into a marketplace like that, and people will come out and touch you and lead you to their booth. And you kind of have to really be adamant about not going. They see somebody like me, and I don't look intimidating, people. And, they just kind of start guiding me toward whatever they're selling, whether I'm interested or not. Now, as a one-time thing, it's kind of fun. It's a little bit cute. You know what I'm saying? But if that is happening all the time, if you are with your marketing the person that basically, holds out the trench coat full of watches, hey, I got these watches, and hasn't even taken the time to notice that you already have a watch, that kind of stuff, it's over. It's over. Not paying attention, not valuing your audience enough to pay attention. That is over. And I need you to know that. I need you to know that. So, how do we make our emails more engaging? How do we make our podcasts more engaging? How do we make our live streams more engaging, our social media posts? How do we offer an opportunity to interact? That's really engagement for me. It's inviting people to interact with me on a two-way basis. So shouting into the void, I talk about that a lot, right? I talk in my introduction about people feel like they're shouting into a black hole. You're giving all of this energy toward all of these social media posts and all of these emails and all of these everything. You're giving your best there, and it feels like you're just, well, pearls before swine is what comes to mind, but you know what I'm saying. It feels like you're just donating your energy to, and never getting anything back from it. It's time to change the way that we do that. And one of the things that I cover in the free mini course is that you ask them questions. You ask people questions. A question is engagement. It is an opportunity for a two-way conversation. Now, some people won't answer those questions automatically. Some people will. They'll pop right in there and start doing some stuff. It's so super cool. But there are people, I want you to know, that kind of hang back and think about that question. It's a slow burn sometimes, the questions. It's not always immediate, but when you start asking questions of the people that are viewing you, of the people that are listening to you, of the people who are reading your stuff, questions are very, very powerful. Now, you want it, obviously, I just need to caveat this here. You need this question to be leading somewhere. You need the answer to be valuable to them and to you. So make sure that you're not just asking them their favorite color. If you don't sell shoes, if you don't sell things with colors on them, it does not matter. But asking questions is that invite to a two-way. So in your email, are you asking people questions? In your videos, are you asking people questions? What are you doing to engage? What are you doing to invite? And here it is. In my head, it's like instead of kind of just shoving things out into the universe, okay, this is the way people told me to write this. This is the way that, I've been told to write these emails or post these posts or whatever. Why don't we experiment with some engagement? Why don't you just for a day, maybe 2 days, email something out that's just a 9-word question? This is an experiment that a lot of people have done. A 9-word question. Okay, maybe you can maybe go to 11 or 12, but limit yourself. Trust me. Trust me, because I never limit myself. Anyway, so just the 9-word question, and then say, hey, hit reply to answer. See what happens. Ask a question on one of your social media posts. Here's another one. Ask people their opinion. Now, as some of you know, there's an election going on. We won't talk about politics on this show. So be careful what you ask people's opinion on. But people love to be seen and heard. They absolutely do. And sometimes in crowds, sometimes not, sometimes just on a one-to-one level. But people want to give their opinion. Why don't we ask it more often? To me, open-ended questions on these types of interactions are the way, but you could also do like a poll where, okay, 68 people voted for this, 72 people voted for this. I mean, you could also do a little poll and show them the results right away. That's kind of a cool thing as well. But it's the simplest thing, and we don't ever think about it because people don't train us how to do this. People don't think about, what we can do to really maximize the engagement that we're getting. Once you get someone engaged, it's easier. It's a heck of a lot easier to lead them into a conversation because they're already interested. How do you strike when the iron is hot? With a bot, obviously. This is the bot signal, after all. But how do you, that's our question today that we're answering. How do you get that initial, what's that over there? How do you get that initial thing going? Liesel, what a beautiful background. Oh, I know, darling. I went through deposit photos last night and I was like, why do I not have more beautiful photos to have a background? So this was my favorite. Adam, absolutely. A well-formed voice design can make a better experience. You don't want to under ask or over ask. Find the proper balance of asking questions and prompts. Excellent. So Adam is an insanely smart technological dude. If you don't know Adam, go check him out. And obviously doing some voice design now. I think that what you said there, Adam, I would like to just pull out a point. You don't want to under ask or over ask. You want to find the right rhythm of types of questions and questions that you ask. You don't always want to ask, the same type of questions. You want to mix it up. So how do you find the right rhythm? How do you find the right cadence of things to ask, things like that to draw people into a conversation? To me, be willing to experiment. Be willing to take a look at what the baseline data is telling you. Be willing to tweak that up a little bit. Try one kind of question one day on one platform. And I seriously suggest that you, if you can, go ahead and what I do for my VIP clients is I'll go ahead and like draw out because most people are visual nowadays. So I'll draw out all of the places that traffic is coming from, and I'll put numbers there where they apply, and I will do all of that flow for people, that client journey. Just because it's so much easier to understand. Most of the time, as entrepreneurs, we're thinking about what I need to do next right now with this particular promotion. It's really hard to pull out and look at all that at 30 feet. So that's what I do for people. But that's, I strongly suggest if you've never done that, to help things show up in a way that you can easily understand, and digest the information, so that when you go and you do an open-ended question one day and then you do a poll on another day, that you can kind of compare what the data is telling you, and also note down how many people were, because you'll know it, because you'll have drawn people into a conversation, how many people really got engaged with this type of stuff. Be willing to experiment, be willing to change things up and tweak. In the community that I've created, the Engagement Rocket Ship, as you know, that's one of the things that I am fostering is, let's have a little launch pad. Let's have a little space where we can create, we can experiment, and just test things out. Just see how it's going to go. It's really hard. It's hard to do it by yourself, honestly. Not an easy thing, but when you're able to bounce stuff off other people, get their experience, that's where stuff starts to take off. Take real conversations and try using that as a structure for the conversation flow. Oh, absolutely. And what we're talking about right now, of course, is that the top of the conversation flow. How do you get someone interested? This is not necessarily inside the bot yet, but how do you draw people to taking that step and clicking over to a flow? I'd also be interested, you guys, if you would, if you're using engagement tactics in your marketing right now, toss them in the comments for me. I'd love to celebrate that. I'd love to, possibly get some of your questions too, if you have them for me. But yeah, if you're doing something on other platforms to get people engaged, to get the, my friend Jay Fazette calls it the lean in, if you're doing something to get that going, I would absolutely love to see what that is, because I think it's really, really important. I think it's important. It's nothing we ever think about. It's nothing that we think about. We think of emails as a way to announce something. If your marketing, especially the first time you see people, is focused on announce, then you are doing yourself no favors. That does not work very well anymore. It just doesn't. We've got to be ready for the future. The world is changing as we speak. We've got to be ready for the future. Adam's talking about voice. Yeah, we need to be ready for that future in chatbots. Let me tell you that. That is coming, and I've got a couple of platforms that I work with that specialize in that because of how important it is. I mean, I want to be able to connect with people on a voice level as well as on just a text level, because that's coming. But we really, with all of the changes in the world, we need to step back for just a minute, look at everything from 30 feet and decide, okay, is my marketing announcement based? Is it broadcast based? Or is it interaction based? The interaction is what's hot. Why? Why is that, RJ? You remember Henry Ford, long time ago, right? The guy that made the first, I don't know, Fords. He said people can have any color of Ford they want as long as that color is black. Because at that time, it's the first factory, baby. They don't have capacity to do other colors. That comment is always funny, but what it means is that people really, they just didn't have a choice in the matter. Give people choices in the matter. Give people color. Give them the color they want. That's what I'm saying, is that individualization, personalization is the kind of marketing that works much, much better than the mass standing on a corner with a bullhorn, trench coat full of watches that you're trying to pawn off on anybody who comes by. That kind of marketing is alienating. It's mass produced. It's mass produced. You don't want your marketing to be mass produced. You want to be able to automate it. You want to be able to scale it. I can help you with that, obviously. You want to be able to do that, but you want it to have a personal touch. You want it to give people choices. You want to ask people questions. You want to do this stuff. It's time for an experiment. It's time to conduct a wild little experiment in your marketing. You can use that question approach that we talked about earlier. That's effective. Or you can try another approach if you have one. It's just an experiment. Hey, if it sucks, you can go back to what you were doing. Beautiful, right? You don't have to depend on this for your future. You can try it out for a couple of days. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. Move back to the way that it was. If it does work, or if you're more excited about producing your marketing pieces, well then, darling, you might have hit upon something. You might have hit upon something that I like to call engagement marketing. So that's really my message for the day. Any place you show up is eligible for this experiment. I'm going to task you with this. I'm looking at my pretend watch. It's actually a bicycle spoke that my wife gave me from RAGBRAI 8 years ago. Anyway, for the next 48 hours, as I look at my pretend watch, for the next 48 hours, make everything you put out there be a question. Try to make it interesting. Try to make it something that people will engage with. Ask people their opinion if you want to. Do these things. Do these things and see what comes down for you. Because I guarantee you that you're going to start to get different responses. You're going to start to interact with people. And then you can lead them to something that is a little bit more one-on-one, something that is maybe it's a bot, maybe it's a video, maybe it's something else entirely. But you can make this happen. It is free to do right this second. You don't have to pay any money to make this happen. Experiment with engagement marketing. Think about what you're doing. Ask people questions or do something else. But make it happen, because that's where the future's at. The future's in the interaction. The future's in the personalization. We've seen that with Facebook, right? Unless you have what I have. Oh, okay. Liesel's taking me on. All right. Do this challenge. I am going to be so proud of you, and I'm going to totally ask for your report come Thursday. We've seen this with Facebook, right? So we used to have newspapers. Remember this, kids? And the ads in them were all kind of in sections, and people kind of pick and choose what they want to read and all of that kind of stuff. The ads and everything else are sort of interspersed as well. And so sometimes you couldn't help look, if you look at a magazine, that's kind of how they work as well. With Facebook and with some other technologies, with Google and things like that, they are basing the things that they show you based off of choices that you've made in their program. They're not showing everything to everyone and hoping that something is going to come back. They're taking choices that you've made, things that you've clicked on in the past, and they are showing you stuff based on that. Why are we not doing this? It's working for them. It'll work for us. I promise. All right, my friends. That's the show for today. Of course, hey, consider joining my community where we test stuff, where we help each other, we review stuff, and we launch. That's what it's about, the engagement rocket ship. And of course, I want to tell you too, I'm just previewing this, but we've got a giveaway coming up next week. The giveaway is massive, and I want you all to be in on it. It's massive. And part of what we're doing for the giveaway, I've actually talked about today. So just know something's coming up here real soon. And I totally want you to be a part of it. It's free to participate, and I'm really stupidly excited about it. So that's it for me today. I hope that you all take care of yourselves today. And I hope that y'all take care of each other. And that's it for me. Happy painting. See you in a bot.